It's not possible to overstate the power of relationships. We just touched on a few things here.
I always wanted to create a place that I want to work, right? I spent a ton of time there.
Hey Restorers, thanks for checking out a fresh episode of the Restoration Masterclass on Power Skills in 2024. I have loved this series so far. We have just started it, and the first two episodes have been heavy hitters and really well engaged with. This is such a fun, good topic to talk about. When it comes to power skills, we are talking about soft skills. That's kind of the much more fun name for soft skills. We're talking about power skills. This season is sponsored by Answerforce, and I'm so excited to have a co-host with me this year. Instead of doing it all by myself, it's so much more fun with a friend. So I'm going to toss it over to Mandy Rewis from Answerforce to introduce herself, and then she's going to introduce our amazing guest that we have today to talk about power skills.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mandy with Answerforce. I'm head of business development and partnerships, and glad to be here with Michelle on this series with the masterclass of power skills. And today, our amazing guest is Nicole Humber. We are going to have a great conversation. And Nicole, I'm going to give it to you to make your introduction, and let's get this thing started.
All right. Hello, everybody. Nicole Humber. I own Bravo Restoration and Construction out of Windsor, California, the little dot on the map above San Francisco. And I've been in this industry since I was 18 in February. So that's like 17 years at this point. And yeah,
congratulations.
Hello, everybody. Woot woot.
Perfect. Okay, so Nicole, you have had quite the journey from like working in a restoration company to buying said restoration company, and then your ownership journey, I know personally, has been quite the journey. So I'm curious, like, what you would consider your number one power skill and how you as an owner have seen that kind of evolve through your journey and major growth as an owner.
I would say probably one of my major power skills is combination of like team engagement, culture, and just really understanding and having empathy for the employee side of things. Really just taking care of them and making sure it's an environment that they want to be at. And yeah, I would say them as a team is my major skill.
How have you evolved that over the years? I know that that's always been important to you from day one, which I think is part of the reason even that you bought the company in the first place, because you cared so much about the people. But how have you been able to evolve that and really find ways that dial in on what your team wants versus maybe what you think that they want or need?
Yeah, I would say definitely trial and error. Make a lot of mistakes and be okay with getting feedback. And even though that all of us business owners have ego and it's just inevitable, and that's what got us here, checking that at the door and listening to the feedback. It's evolved a combination of like hiring the right people. That's been, a really big, like not everybody wants personal growth or professional growth or a leader who's like, here we are, soft skills. I love you. Like it's okay to be loved. And because I love you and I believe in you, you can do anything. There are people out there who just want to come to a job and get a paycheck and not have to care. They want, a boss that they can be like, oh, screw that person, all of this. And so I've had those employees that I would just push on any way I can. And that's just not what they wanted. And it wasn't best for them. And so finding people, hiring the right people, having the right leadership team has like helped me evolve this. And is this the right time to talk a little bit more about what I do with them?
Yes.
And what sets? So I'm really big about engagement and feedback and constantly having my fingertips on what is best for each individual person. We do a lot of, DISC personality tests, like every single week we have a Wednesday training. Every single Friday, the entire team receives a weekly email from me and the leadership team that literally talks about the good, the bad, the ugly of what's happened this past week. Within that weekly email, we give opportunities to win prizes for responding. We talk about, I go through right now, I'm talking about the 21 indispensable qualities of a leader. And every week I give them a synopsis of each leader, and I have them tell us about how does that look for you? And I do an employee shout out every week. Sometimes I have the team vote for their shout outs. I utilize Google Forms and Google surveys for that. We do this red ticket thing where it's like if you go above and beyond or you do something great, or you get a shout out, you get a red ticket. And so at the end of the month, when we have our monthly meeting, our monthly meetings are all about engagement. So we're like going around doing icebreakers. We have a fun activity, team building activity. And then we have a wheel spin where people's anniversaries, birthdays, training hours, like everybody has to have a 5 hours minimum training a month that I pay for. And you get whoever gets the most gets to spin the wheel. And then we have a $400 pot towards this ticket thing. And I like feel like I'm blah, 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 but there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But it's just like constantly every day the team has huddles where they go over what positive thing happened the day before. What are they stuck on? Like if it's a job or a client, positive shout out to another team worker and something that they have to do for the day. Every single day we're communicating and touching and solving problems and having, that trust amongst one another so we can have that healthy conflict. And it's truly amazing. Like some of the problems, our biggest problem right now is, oh man, I don't even know what our biggest problem. You know how there's like a season of things like right now,
Yes.
everybody's just in it. Everybody wants to grow and they're holding each other accountable in the most positive way. So if somebody responds to the weekly email, like it's a reply all, so the whole company is involved. They're like, hey bro, why didn't you do that? And like, I let them be free. I let them talk. I have like a lot of Gen Z. So, I get like, there's bros and like talk about drip and all this weird language that I do not know anything about, but I let them be them. And as long as it's work appropriate and they're not, berating, like it's pretty awesome. Like what's happening. And I know it's work. So it costs money, right? I pay for a minimum of 5 hours training. Every week they get training, my time to send out these weekly emails, the time for every daily huddle. And sometimes the huddles range from 10 minutes to 25 minutes that they're dealing with a problem. And it's a lot of money to invest in. But the effect is every client I hear from is, holy crap, every single one of your employees are happy. They're grateful to be here. They're like they were hard workers. I've never, in the last 2 years, I have yet to have somebody not answer their phone on an after-hour emergency. We have people who come in on their off time to clean equipment just because they care about Bravo. Yesterday was our company meeting, and one of the icebreaker was, if you had 30 days left to live, how would you spend it? And one of my guys said, I'd be at Bravo at the shop, making sure everything was ready to go when I passed. And I was like, and I know. And these are, I have ranges of 20-year-olds to 60-year-olds, and everybody's in it to win it. And it's pretty amazing. That's like took a lot of work, but
it's amazing to see the type of culture that you have created in your company. And I do have to ask, Nicole, you have all these amazing ideas, you have all of these amazing, like the fact that you give them 5 hours a week, like that is really awesome. That's investing. I love that you said you invest in your employees. So I have to ask, because it's like you mentioned at the start of it, you said, it was a lot of trial and error. So I want to ask, like, at what point there had to have been a pivotal point in this in your journey that caused you to say, you know what, we need to move towards this. We need to cultivate this type of culture. When did that happen for you?
That's great.
Honestly, yeah, it's weird is that I bought this company because I wanted to save my coworkers' job. So it was always from day one, like, how do I get this further? How do I keep doing this? Like I'm visioning this. I see what this can be. This can be a place where people want to work and love what they do. Honestly, the pivotal point was I had a coworker, an employee that turned into an employee that had been with me from the beginning. And I thought he had my best interest. I thought there was trust. I thought the message I was saying was being conveyed down. And it turns out it wasn't. It was a poisonous employee that I did not know was poisonous. And when our relationship ended and we parted ways, it was like a holy shit. that was the move. Like it, he wasn't following our core values. He wasn't living what I was preaching. And like in front of me, he was, but out there, and it's like, it was just amazing how one person can be cancerous and have such a impact. So once that cancer was removed, I was able to like directly make sure my message was heard by all, and then having the right leadership team that was able to convey that message. So I guess that was like the pivotal point.
Perfect. Okay. All right. I hate to even like change gears at all whatsoever, because I love this topic and love hearing you talk about it. And you're always so excited and passionate. And I know that you've done so much for your company. And if anybody wants good examples, follow Bravo on social media. Like you're going to see concretely exactly what Nicole is doing for her team, with her team, what her team's doing, all of it. Like it's very outward. You're going to see proof of everything that she's saying very publicly. So Nicole, I also have to talk about fitness though, because you have been on this amazing journey personally as well with kind of fitness and health and all those things. And I'm curious how that's resonated with your team. Also, like how has it changed you as a leader? And then how have you seen kind of your journey impact your team as well?
So I started 75 Hard July 17th, and which means like multiple workouts, healthy diet, no alcohol, no cheat meals, blah, blah, blah. I finished it my first round end of September, and I thought I'd go back to like drinking and all of this stuff because in our industry it's very stressful and it's like our go-to. I have been like sober Sally, other than a couple sips here and there since then. And I have had a huge revelation of change as a business leader. I'm so clear-minded. I'm making sharp decisions. I'm not, wasting time at happy hours or even like I could still take my clients out and not have to drink. My personal relationships, as a wife, mother, friend, everything is just 100 times better. And also like I have staff members that are doing 75 Hard, and I have people who are like following that or an influence, like, okay, alcohol is not the answer or drugs are not the answer, and working out and keeping your body healthy. And one of the things I do pay for my staff is quarterly chiropractic appointments and monthly massages. And I really push on health and fitness because our bodies are our temples. But I'm not like preachy about that. Like you do, you boo. And I tell them that, but because of like my hard focus on it, it just, I forgot the wording, but yeah,
yes,
it does.
It trickles down. It resonates.
It trickles down. Yes. So there's a trickle down effect, and we have, healthier breakfasts, and it's just, yeah, everybody's mindset is on a healthy. And so in these weekly emails, I would report like, okay, I'm on day this and day that, and just having that message of like how important health is, and showing up for yourself.
And it's also, you're setting the example. So they're seeing you do it, they're seeing the changes within you. And like Michelle said, it's trickling down. They're like, you know what? I want a piece of that.
It's kind of a joke. Yeah, they're always like, Nicole, you like, I sometimes have that low key pressure on them because they're like, if Nicole can do it, I can do it because like I coach and then leadership, all of this stuff. And so sometimes it makes them feel bad. I'm like, no, you do you, boo. Like, I love you. You're amazing. And so it's finding that fine balance of like, you don't want to be like, oh, I can do everything and be that annoying person, because I can't. I'm like hot mess all the time. But just being real with my staff about that too. Like, hey, I messed up on, like, I have no problem showcasing the good, bad, and ugly of me.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. Anything else you want to add? This was an amazing conversation. Mandy, do you have any final questions before we toss it to Nicole to wrap with anything she has left?
No, Nicole, I mean, it's just been amazing hearing, I mean, your energy and how excited and passionate you are about, all of the things that you do for you and your team. And, I've seen it. I've seen you with you and your team, and they all have that passion. You could see the fire. So it's been amazing hearing you talk about some of the things that you're doing with them, and no additional questions, but just really, really thankful that you were able to join us today.
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, I could talk for hours. So if you guys anybody has any questions or need like ideas, because that's sometimes what it is. It's just ideas. Reach out to me. I'm more than happy to share and help in any way.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Nicole. Thanks, Mandy. And we will see you on the next episode.